Tom here, Flip Anything USA. You know, I'm trying to get back onto the contracts and deals. I know that's a lot of what you guys want to know about. I want to re-emphasize that I know a lot of you get hung up on paperwork or what to do. You got to understand, it is much, much simpler than 99% of what all people realize. It is you can write a contract on a napkin, and I've done it. And I'm talking about sitting down with somebody at coffee, and we start hammering out the details of you know, we're making a deal. Hey, and I just, you know what? When somebody says we've got a deal, I write it up, and I'll write it on. I mean, I would write it on a piece of plywood if I had to, just because I want to have an agreement, and I want to have it signed, and I want to have it done. And that's what I always emphasize, is that, you know, don't waste time. And that's why you got to get as knowledgeable about property that you're looking at in your neighborhood or whatever area you're going to concentrate on. And for now, I just tell people, just worry about what's in your immediate neighborhood, because that'll be the easiest to get to know the value. You can almost do it, you know, in your spare time, just calling on a sign and what you see. But you have to take advantage of when somebody agrees to a price, you get it signed. You get it signed as quickly as possible. And that might mean you don't pull out a 21-page, realtor's real contract. You pull out a single sheet of paper and you immediately write down the terms. How much, what the terms are, meaning 30-day escrow, meaning 30-day period of time before you close, 60-day period, or whatever you negotiate. And you can negotiate a year if you can get it. Then if that's what you want, and you can get the seller to agree to that, then you know what? You just write it on up. And but like I say, you can write it on anything. You can write it on a piece of wood. You can write it on a piece of paper. You can write it on a napkin. You know, it's just as long as you have acceptance in writing, you'll have a deal. And now you have something to go to the title company with, and or the escrow company, or however they refer to it in your area. They refer to it differently in different states. But basically, there's always a title company involved, and you just get it. You get it done, and you close it. You close the deal. And you know, even right now, where I'm about to drive by, I'm working on a property right now. Ooh, get out of the way here. And it's funny, the property that I'm going by, I'll tell you a little bit about this property. I'm hoping to buy it now. But probably 15 years ago, I was trying to make a deal with the individual that owned it. He had a giant for sale sign on this thing, 4 foot by 8 foot. I mean, that's how big a sign he had in the front. And so I come by and I say, hey, you know, what do you want? And he says, I want $200,000. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And then next thing you know, I said, well, I don't even need to sell it. And I'm like, wait a minute. You just said you wanted to sell it. And now now that I met his price, he's saying, I don't even need to sell it. And next, you know, I mean, and we're not even walking away with a deal now. I mean, told me his price. I said I'd meet it. And then he's like, no thanks. And so next thing you know, I let a few months go by because he decided he didn't want to sell it. Still has for sale sign. For sale sign's been in his yard for 10 years. Anyways, oh, and I see an emergency vehicle coming up behind me. It's way back there. Oh. And I'm going to get out of his way. So anyways, back to the scene. So you're going to run into all kinds of things. But anyhow, this particular property, you know, so he went up to 250, and then he had a real estate agent, and then, you know, and so I said, sure, I'll do the 250, and then it was the same thing. And then even the real estate agent got discouraged, because like, and then it became kind of a joke, because then he went up to 300, and he had an agent. I told that agent, I says, hey, I said, I want to buy this. He says, well, he wants 300. I said, well, you know what? I got a feeling he ain't going to take it, but I said, I'll meet the 300. And This is over a period of a couple years' time now, and it keeps going up in value. So he ended up, I told the agent, I says, well, okay, I'll take it. We can write it up. We'll close it in 30 days, whatever you want to do. And I said, but don't get your hopes up. And he just thought it was an odd thing for me to say, the agent. The agent calls me back, and he says, well, he's having some health issues right now, and he doesn't really want to sell. And I just laughed, because that'd been the story. I went all the way up to 400,000 in the next couple of years, and he still never wanted to sell. And now he's passed away, and now it's in the hands of his heirs. And so now I'm hoping to make a deal with his kids on the property that he never wanted to sell. And I actually told them that story too, and we all had a little bit of a laugh over that. So but anyway, so I'm hoping to make a deal on it. But just remember, look, it's so much easier than you think to buy real estate. And most people, you think about this, and this is the sad truth, most people buy one piece of property in their lifetime, if they're lucky, and it's their house. And it'll be the single biggest investment they make in their entire life, and they only buy one. But it goes to how little experience they have, because they've only done it one time. But it really is an easy thing to do. And like I say, I probably went through 40 properties before I was 25. And there's just so it just becomes like it's easier than buying cars to me. I don't like buying cars, to be honest, but I think buying houses is easier than buying cars, and a hell of a lot more profitable too. But anyways, that's all. I just wanted to touch base with you guys this morning. Also, I was wondering if you can tell me, when is the best time for me to do a live podcast if I'm going to talk for an hour? We've been doing some things on Wednesdays, and that seems to work out. May not get as many Wednesday nights ahead of me as possible. I wondered if later works. I think I was kind of surprised to see the numbers go up quite a bit starting later at nighttime one night, which kind of makes sense. Everybody's free. Anyways, so that's it. If anybody's got any questions, you can ask a question.